Hi, I'm Tia Jordan from Audition Guru, and I've got something special I wanted to share with you just in the lead up to the audition workshop we're having for kids this weekend. The response has been amazing, and we are so excited. So we're throwing everything we've got at it. We're going to make it really fun, really valuable, and a memorable day for everybody that comes along. So I wanted to say thank you to all the people who've already booked in, and to anyone who's, still a little bit undecided about whether they want to upgrade their children's involvement in the performing arts from training to actually auditioning. I want to say, listen, I understand completely. Well, maybe not completely, but I'm a parent and I've got a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, so I kind of feel maybe the same as you in that I know that if I put my children up for an audition, that they will inherently be risking a massive dose of rejection. So that's why I want you to send your kids to me, so that I can help them, one, navigate the audition process, and two, deal with either the headiness of succeeding or the fallout of not succeeding in an audition. The other question I get a lot from parents is they say to me, Tia, my son or my daughter is, is talented, apparently talented. The teachers tell me that they've got some talent here, and I know that they love it. But they say, Tia, I'm just not sure if they're good enough to actually get the job, And to those people, my advice is this. Look, you're never going to know if they're right for the job, and it really isn't a question of good enough, but we'll go into that in the workshop. But you can never predict whether your child is going to get a job or not get a job, and you can't read the minds of an audition panel, regardless of what the audition brief says. You will never be able to read the mind of an audition panel because they're just a little bit crazy. Oh, no, they're not. Sorry, audition panels. I was only joking. They're not crazy, but they're subject to change, and so you can never know. So I'd like to give you the advice that Caroline O'Connor gave me once when I was having my own personal meltdown about the same kind of issue. She said to me, Tia, if you have the opportunity to audition for something, then you must. She said, because this is what we do. And I was like, wow, it was like a massive aha moment for me. This is what we do. It's kind of what we're born as. So if you've got a child who loves to sing or dance or act, it's not really the kind of thing you're going to be able to switch off. So I wanted to say, do whatever you can. Give them the tools to deal with it as best you can. And that's another reason I want you to send them to me, so that I can help you care for them. So if you'd like to come book into the workshop, I'd love to have you. And you can find the link to the registration page on facebook.com/auditionguru. So that's audition and then the word guru, Guru. So you'll find the link there on Facebook. Or you can email me, tia@auditionguru.com, and I'll put that email address just down there at the bottom of this YouTube frame. And now I have something very special for you. I interviewed a Broadway star this week. His name is Jeffrey Schecter, and he's known as Shecky. He's been in over 30 Broadway shows around the world and on Broadway. He's a native New Yorker. We met in the late 90s when he was here working on a commercial job. It was a seminar that we were all employed to perform in like a mini musical. And so I got to know and love Shecky then. And he recently has been in a film called Every Little Step, which some of you may know is a documentary that was made about the audition process for the revival production of A Chorus Line. And Shecky won the role of Mike during that process and played Mike on Broadway. And So I feel very, very lucky to have interviewed him this week, and he's given me some wonderful advice for children and their parents in the lead up to our audition workshop on the weekend. And I wanted to share that with you now. So thank you very much for hanging with me for a little bit, and look forward to seeing you soon. Now, if you want to see the rest of the interview, why don't you go to auditionguru.com. There's a webpage called auditionguru.com, and you can sign up for the newsletter, and then I will send you the link to the rest of this interview, which has got some really fabulous stuff in it. All right? Thanks for listening.
It's funny. My dad definitely has a performer within him, and I mean, he was a DJ, a wedding, bar mitzvah, Sweet 16 kind of DJ, and a lot of personality and a real showman.
Yeah.
Never really did the acting thing, but I definitely that personality, that thing is definitely something I got from him, and he's big Shecky, and he, he just loves that I'm in the business, and he's always, trying to figure out ways to make his son a bigger star,
Beautiful.
And
I remember meeting him when you guys came to Sydney, because he came with you, and he was just heart of gold, absolute heart of gold, man.
Yeah, he is. He's my boy. I mean, he's my best friend, and has been my biggest fan, and I owe a lot to my dad for really seeing something in me as a kid and really going, do you want to do this? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. Yeah. And him really going, well, let's give it a try. Okay. And so here I am now.
I'm glad you brought that up, because this is the thing. I have a lot of people, especially parents of younger children, who ask me, I'm not sure. She seems to be good. He seems to be good at it. They definitely love it, but I'm not sure if I should be going and putting them into audition workshops and getting them an agent and stuff. And it's really interesting. You didn't know. You're saying you didn't know, but Dad helped you, give you the possibility of it.
Yeah, absolutely. He saw something in me, and he's like, "Is this something you might want to do?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe." And so we started to kind of just go out there and go, what kind of opportunities are for an 11-year-old that just happened to start dancing?
Right.
And, before long, it's like through the DJing, oddly enough, we met a dance teacher at a party. And, I would go with my father to these DJ functions to help him.
Yeah.
And cut to, this is when I was 16, I kind of started actually really dancing later in life.
Wow.
And they had a dance school, and they offered scholarships to boys.
Really?
For back then it was like, $50 for as many classes as you wanted over the course of a month.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the obvious next thing. Okay, let's try this.
That's incredible.
So it was in there that I was like, oh wait, no, I'm good at this. And wow, there's lots of pretty girls. And I was like, this is gonna work for me, and before long, then I started to kind of, suddenly you start to just see things, and you're like, wait, what are they doing over there? Oh, a High School Musical. That might be fun.
Okay.
Boom, I auditioned for the high school show and realized I'm a terrible singer, but good enough to get into the high school show, and realized, oh man, I like this. I like making people laugh.
Right.
I'm a good actor. I'm kind of funny. Got to work on the singing. And then little by little, it starts to happen. And my dad was just there going, all right, let's do this, let's do that. Never pushy, never a stage dad, never overbearing.
Right.
If there was ever a time when I was like, I'm not feeling it, I'm feeling sick, or I'm scared, he would never be pushy. It was all about only if you want to do this do I want to support you doing this.
That's excellent.
So, and I think it's important for parents to really, it's important for them to be honest with where their kids are at and really take in the feedback from what is happening. It doesn't take a genius to go, oh my God, the teachers are constantly coming up to me and going, I think your kid's got something. You got to listen to that.
Yeah.
And if they're not coming up to you, it doesn't mean that maybe they don't have talent, but maybe they're just not there yet. And they have more work to do. So it's really important for the parent to pay attention to the teachers and to what they're getting, and also to the kid. Don't force the kid. If they're not liking it, let them do something else.
Shortly, I'm going to be teaching a series of audition workshops for children, and a lot of those children, or some of those children, will be actually auditioning for Annie the musical.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you for a little bit of advice for if you're going to give some advice to children who are auditioning for a musical.
I think the most important thing, anybody who's auditioning or being in this business is definitely to really be yourself out of the gate. But I think especially kids, it's so important to come in there and just don't try to do what you think is in the movie. Don't try to think what your friend's doing, because the more natural you are, especially as a child performer, the more people just love you. In the show I'm doing right now, The People in the Picture, one of the stars of the show is a girl named Rachel Reshef. She's 10 years old. Girl's amazing.
Wow.
This is her fourth Broadway show. She was in Shrek. She was in Billy Elliot. Mary Poppins.
Right.
And what is amazing about this girl is she's just a natural. Yeah. And she doesn't try to inflect or talk like an adult or be anything else. She's playing a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So if you're coming in and you're auditioning for Annie and you're 7 and the role you're going in for happens to be 9, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just don't try to, change your voice and be 9 years old and still just be yourself, and chances are that's going to work just fine. Yeah, I think also prepare as best you can. If you have a song to sing or 16 bars, really practice it to the point that you really feel comfortable. And whoever you need, whether it's with mom or dad, or, if you're lucky enough to have somebody who's actually in the business to maybe coach you, whatever. And don't try to sing what you think they're going to want. Sing something that is really comfortable and shows you off and shows off your voice. Don't sing something that's super, super high. If you can go, you're just going to crack and... just like American Idol, sing what shows you off best.
Yeah.
And I think...
does that mean, can I ask something? So does that mean that sometimes, even if you really love a song, it might not be your best choice of song to sing if it's going to expose your little areas where you need to still keep working on?
Yeah. You never want to give away your weaknesses.
Right.
It's funny, if you're asked to do... They want to see what your range is. Immediately when someone goes, how high can you sing? So many years I'd be like, oh, I know what they want. They want a G. They probably want an A. Man, they probably want me to sing at least a B. No, they want you to sing as high as you can sing.
You can sing, right.
Yeah, because chances are, if you can't sing the B, maybe the girl next to you can sing a B, you sing the F, and you're going to eventually have to do harmony, and it's going to work out.
Oh, nice.
And if not,
that's a very nice reframe, Shecky. I love that.
Yeah, so you kind of, and ultimately, if it's not what they want, you can't do anything about that. You really can't. All you can do is do the best you can.
That's right.
So, if you're asked to sing tomorrow,
you
got to give it your best shot, of course. But if you can't hit those high notes, well then, sometimes, you know what, they really like you. Maybe they'll work with you. Maybe they'll lower it down. It's amazing when someone falls in love with you, what they might be willing to do. And I learn that more and more, especially as I get to really make the transition into leading roles. People want to accommodate you and want to make you feel good.
Really?
So,
that's
do your thing. Do your thing.
That's wonderful advice.
Yeah. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. That'll be all over Facebook like you won't even believe. And I'll have to put the link to your information about your classes on it too, Shecky. So.
People can always visit my website, www.jeffreyschecter.com. And there you go.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.